Students can't help but fall for wintry weather. How the snow affected campus today.
With the difficult trek to campus in freezing rain, find out how one student makes do.
With temperatures below freezing, students keep a close eye for possible dangerous roads. How Parking and Transit plans to ensure safety on bus routes. Welcome back to UATV News. I'm Nick Camper.
And I'm Destiny Washington. Thanks for joining us. U of A students might have experienced some trouble getting to class today as Fayetteville accumulated around 2 inches of snow this morning. Residents experienced this wintry mix with snow and freezing rain. Although getting around campus proved difficult, some students did not mind the inconvenience of snow.
I mean, it does make getting to class a little less convenient, but honestly, I like looking at the snow.
Students could expect more inclement weather throughout the week.
Students using crutches face further issues trying to get to class. The icy conditions on the sidewalks and stairs makes them very slick and very dangerous. Some students struggled to find safe ways to campus today and resorted to getting rides from friends or not even going to class at all.
Walking on crutches is already difficult enough, but yeah, when you throw ice in the mix, it's a hard thing to do. I had to get my friend to drive me up here.
Conditions expected throughout the week, students can expect campus to be a very hazardous place to travel. With temperatures dropping, the university prepares for inclement weather. If the school closes transit and parking, will stop running bus routes, but they would still clear away parking areas and certain paths on the university campus. If the school stays open, then the buses will run as normal.
While the snow disappears from the radar and the ground, the cold temperatures will not.
It will stay under 30 degrees all night and under 40 most of the day tomorrow.
Right now, temperatures sit at 30 degrees, so stay warm while you walk to night classes or home.
Police say one man sits in jail with a $500,000 bond following a car chase and a shootout Sunday. According to the report, police tried to stop Luis Cobo Cenobio in Tonytown, where he shot at an officer before driving to Springdale. Police report that Cenobio and police opened fire at each other before he drove into Fayetteville. Eventually, police arrested Cenobio in Springdale.
Police say one student's possession of cocaine landed him behind bars. Police arrested William Fernando outside the Sigma Alpha Epsilon fraternity last Thursday. Officers found a small clear baggie with a white substance inside on Fernando, which he identified as cocaine. Fernando posted bail the next day.
One mom whose child died in the Sandy Hook shooting comes to the U of A. Scarlett Lewis founded the Jesse Lewis Choose Love movement after a shooter killed her 6-year-old son on December 14, 2012. Today she spoke with students and educators on how to become connected and empowered while creating safer, more peaceful and loving schools.
In light of the rumors about strange activity at the U of A, ASG hosts a survey about lighting on campus. On Wednesday, student volunteers from different organizations will pair with UAPD officers to walk assigned areas of campus and identify light deficient areas. They will also test the emergency poles to ensure proper functioning and measure response time.
A belated happy Veterans Day to all of our military viewers. At 11 this morning, the university rang the bell at Old Main 11 times. Tomorrow night, the Armed Forces Alumni Society will be hosting a reception from 6 to 7:30. The group plans to collect donations for the Veterans Resource and Info Center food pantry.
The richest family in Arkansas gave the U of A another gift to help future students. The Walton Family Foundation put forward an investment of over $23 million to help fund research. The gift pushes the Campaign Arkansas fundraising total past $1 billion. Campaign Arkansas aims to raise private donations to fund the university with a goal of $1.25 billion.
National journalists come to the U of A to talk about the results of the midterm elections. Correspondents for the New York Times and The Guardian, as well as CNN's executive director, host the midterm elections, What Happened and Why Forum. This event happens on Wednesday, November 14th in the Alumni House from 7 to 8:30 at night.
The university's been working these past few months on a policy to make it easier for students to understand. This policy will be in full effect beginning of the spring semester. UATV's Griselda James finds out about the upcoming policy change.
For new enrollment and transfer students, the University of Arkansas can be a bit challenging.
It was stressful at first to learn where everything was and find my classes, but it wasn't.
Having to know how the U of A system works, from using the UA Connect website to knowing the different policies the university has, added more stress to Erica.
It's like the class page to select all of those was kind of confusing, I guess, because there's so many options.
But an upcoming policy change plans to be more simple and less stressful for students to understand. The Treasurer's Office recently announced in an email that the drop-withdraw policy will have some changes for the spring 2019 semester. The changes for the policy are: the tuition and fee schedule will now be the same as the dropping and withdrawal from all classes. An example of the difference from the past spring semester is that in order to receive 100% of tuition and fees, you would have to withdraw a day before school started. But now, this upcoming spring, students will be able to receive 100% of tuition and fees as long as they withdraw before the 6th class day.
I think that it'll be good, definitely for people like me that are just now transferring and it's your first time here to understand. That's a lot less confusing than having a bunch of different dates to keep up with.
For more information or questions regarding the new policy, students can contact the Treasurer's Office.
This week, students from around the world come together to showcase their cultures to their peers. Some events to take part in include a Panamanian cooking class, Diwali, the Indian Festival of Lights, and you can try banana ketchup, a popular condiment in the Philippines.
The 11th annual Dance Around the World welcomes students interested in dancing the night away. Dances from countries around the world, including Japan and Africa, will be performed by international students. Thai, Greek, and Indian food will also be provided. The event will be held at Holcomb Hall on Thursday night from 6 to 9. The former editor-in-chief and publisher of Marvel Comics died today, the legacy he left behind.
Deadly wildfires ripped through California, how one local shop helps victims in the community. New information from the California Department of Fire Protection released tonight as the Camp Fire burns over 110,000 acres. The fire threatens homes and neighborhoods across Northern California. Local smoothie shop Mamaca Bowls plans to donate 15% of their sales this Wednesday. The donations will help rebuild homes, provide financial, mental, and medical assistance for those affected.
Marvel Comics legend Stan Lee died at age 95. As editor-in-chief of Marvel Comics, Lee created many superheroes and transformed Marvel into the large multimedia company it is today. Many comic book fans mourn the loss of such a prominent figure in the industry. Stan Lee suffered
Very, very tragic day so far. Yeah, as soon as I got the news, yeah, felt my heart sink. Just the, you know, the iconic, the man, the face of comics.
Stan Lee suffered several illnesses this year, including pneumonia and vision issues.
Arkansas's first Miss America died after her 12-year battle with Parkinson's disease. Donna Axum Whitworth died at the age of 76 Sunday evening. The summer before her senior year, Whitworth made her second bid to become Miss Arkansas, and then a couple months later, she won Miss America. She became the first of only 3 Arkansans to win the title.
Starting today, the Fayetteville Public Library gives book lovers a chance for forgiveness of their library late fees. During the Food for Fees, patrons get a $1 credit for each can or box of food donated during the drive. The program benefits an organization that provides emergency assistance to residents. This event goes on until November 18th. One local concert venue announced new shows for the coming year. Find out if your favorite artist made the cut.
The Razorbacks took on LSU in their last home game of the season this past weekend, how the Hogs matched up against one of their rivals. A Northwest concert venue announces their 2019 lineup. Some of the prominent artists include country music singer Alan Jackson and 10-time Grammy Award winner Carlos Santana. The Walmart Amp scheduled Jackson to perform on September 22nd, but they rescheduled him due to weather. The U of A seeks students interested in participating in a committee about Title IX and sex discrimination. The Title IX coordinator, Tyler Farrar, said, quote, The University of Arkansas is committed to ensuring all students are trained and educated with regard to sexual assault prevention, end quote. To participate, contact Farrar at tylerf@uark.edu.
Razorback fans showed their displeasure about this season's football game scheduling. UATV's Finn Larson tells us about a petition to stop early morning kickoffs from happening at home.
After 3 straight 11 a.m. kickoffs, fans are looking to make the final home game a night game. How, you may ask? By signing a petition. The petition was started by John Neighbors, a local radio host, and is now up to 4,200 signatures, and it keeps growing. There's only one issue. No matter how many signatures this petition gets, it will not change the decision the committee has made for the time slot.
I think it's possible that the SEC wanted to listen to the fan sentiment, but more likely I think they had already picked the time slot, but I signed it just because I figured it couldn't hurt to try to get a later time.
Not only are fans not pleased with all the early games, but even some players don't like it.
I just don't like playing. I think it's too early. I don't feel good. But I kind of understand the reason why playing at 11 a.m. when you have a 2-7 record. So you just got to understand, that's like the consequences that come with, having a bad season.
Some fans truly believe that this petition did in fact alter the decision of the time slot, especially after the announcement that Arkansas will have its first night home game of this season. The university nor the fans get to decide when their football games will be played. The decision is made based on TV ratings. Since Arkansas has a rivalry with the LSU Tigers and SEC Nation is coming to town, this game was more likely than all others to be a night game. Arkansas will host SEC rival LSU on Saturday, November 10th at 6:30 p.m.
While Razorbacks may not play any more home games this season, the petition hopes to change next year's timing.
Well, the men's basketball team took on the University of Texas on Friday. Find out how they matched up.
And the girls' soccer team opened up the NCAA tournament against Little Rock. Find out how they won big. All of this and more coming up in sports.
Welcome back to your Monday Sportscast. I'm Nick Bravo. Hogs took on LSU in their last home game of the season this past weekend, and the weather matched their Hogs' play. Cold. Both teams started the game off slow as the first 2 drives of the game all ended in punts. LSU on the 4th drive had a 1-play, 40-yard touchdown that didn't do much for either team, as the next 5 drives would all end in punts as well. LSU would find the end zone once again, though, on a ground-and-pound attack led by Nick Brossette on a drive that lasted 7.5 minutes, capped off by a 12-yard touchdown run by Brossette. The teams would trade some more punts before Arkansas would recover a Joe Burrow fumble and return it back 24 yards to set up a Hog field goal before the half, putting the score at 14-3 heading into the half. LSU would score once again after half, following that up with a field goal, pushing their lead to 21. The Hogs would wake up in the 4th quarter with Story leading 2 long touchdown drives, both ending on a pass to Cheyenne O'Grady. O'Grady continued his good season with 6 catches for 75 yards and 2 scores, putting him at 359 yards and 6 touchdowns on the season. The running game that the Hogs have relied on for most of the season wasn't found, as they had 19 carries for 16 yards. The Hogs travel to Starkville, Mississippi this weekend to take on the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Kickoff is set for 11 a.m. on ESPN. Moving on to the court, men's basketball started their season last Friday night in the Armed Force Classic against Texas and El Paso. The Hogs were underdogs as the starting lineup and team doesn't have a senior on the court at all. Gafford, a sophomore, led the team in points and rebounds, putting up a double-double with 20 and 12. The Hogs were down most of the contest, but the Longhorns fought their way back from a 9-point deficit at the start of the second half due to some clutch 3-point shooting behind guards Isaiah Joe and Mason Jones, who shot a combined 7 of 14 from 3. The Hogs had the lead late in the game, but with 2 seconds left, Longhorn Kerwin Roach drained a 3 to tie the game up, sending it into overtime. Unfortunately for the Hogs, they were unable to reclaim the lead in OT, eventually losing 73-71. The Hogs played tonight against the UC Davis Aggies. Tip-off was at 7, and you can find the game on the SEC Alternate Network. Heading on over to the pitch, the Arkansas soccer team took on Little Rock in the first round of the NCAA tournament, taking them down with a final score of 5-1. Goals by Taylor Malum, Kayla McKeon, Tori Kanata, Stephanie Doyle, and Tyler Runnels all contributed to the largest margin of victory in an NCAA tournament game in school history. While the weather wasn't ideal and was very cold, the team was red hot, scoring all of those goals in the first half, coming off a performance where they only mustered 1 goal in the championship of the SEC tournament. The team is set to travel to North Carolina to take on the Virginia Tech Hokies in the second round. First kick is set for 1 p.m. and a television channel hasn't been announced yet. Well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for sports tonight. Be sure to follow us at UATV Sports for the latest sports updates. I'm Nick Bravo. When we come back, we'll take a look at tomorrow's weather.
Our weather tomorrow summed up in one word, frigid.
Even though the sun returns, we won't get much from it. There will be some wind too, so make sure to wrap up when you go out.
And here we go again. There's a snake in my boot.
Disney and Pixar released the first teaser trailer for Toy Story 4 today.
In it, you can see the usual cast spinning in a circle until a new face pops up.
We don't know what this little homemade spoon does in the movie, but no doubt it'll be interesting.
Well, that's all the time we have for UATV Tonight. I'm Nick Camper.
And I'm Destiny Washington. Follow us on social medias at UATV News. Thanks for joining us.